Okay, yo creo que we're going to start now. Mia is asking us a question. Is the class going to be in English? So, Mia, the answer is yes. I'm sure if anyone has any questions in Spanish, feel free to, unmute your mics and ask the question in Spanish. We will translate and we'll try to do it as friendly, bilingual, or Spanglish as possible, where everyone is able to get the message, because it is important that our agents that are most comfortable in Spanish get the message, and of course, our English-speaking agents also have clarity of what this meeting or this training is about. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute and interrupt, because we would like for this to be an interactive training today. The reason that we are having two guest speakers today is because one goes hand on hand with the other. We are going to introduce Jose Rodriguez from Mr. Credit 305. If you do not know him, I suggest for you to follow him on social media and become a fan. Not only is he super energetic, he literally will just make you happy. He's that type of person, and but he will definitely get the job done. So we want to all look like heroes here, right? As agents, we want to make sure that our clients go from being a tenant to an actual buyer, and you want to guide them through the whole process. So vamos a convertir a esos clientes que son ahora mismo que están alquilando en compradores, y vamos a mostrarles y guiarlos por el proceso completo que ellos les van a dar referido a ustedes sin ningún hesitation. Sorry, I don't know that word in Spanish. Pero bueno, aquí vamos. José Rodríguez, por favor, danos un poquitico de ti y después seguimos con Isaac Posada. Thank you, Isaac, for being here as well. Isaac is with mortgage company that is going to also give us the basics of what it is to get a client pre-approved. Okay, let's go.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be with you guys today. In fact, I want to congratulate everyone to what you guys do every single day, right? Making a difference in our community. I am Jose Rodriguez. I'm the president and CEO of Virgin Credit Solutions, but they do know me as Mr. Credit 305, or the guy with the big glasses, right? So one of the things I have is passion about credit in regards to, whether it's challenges, creating credit, because we've all been there in a situation that we need some help, right? It doesn't matter if what's your education level, doesn't matter your wealth, it doesn't matter your age. One day you're gonna obviously need your credit, and sometimes you have certain situations that happen in life that people just feel lost, right? It's like, what do I do? And I've been there, right? So a few years ago, I initiated this business because I was my client myself. As you can tell, about 20 years ago, that's a long time. I went through a divorce, and after my divorce, I figured out that, oops, there's certain issues with my credit, right? And but I decided not to be my own victim. Okay, I decided not to be a victim. I educated myself. I've been in the world, the financial world, for many years. I was also in law enforcement, so I understand the financial side and also the legal side of it, right? And one thing that was nice, I lived in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia, and was in Atlanta, Equifax, right? So I had a couple of friends of mine that gave me the education, and it just told me a little bit what the mistakes are, what are the things happening on the credit bureaus, and give me some tips, right? Obviously, my very two good friend of mine, they're attorneys, also gave me some education about it, about the laws, and I was my first client. So in a few months, I fixed my credit, and that's where the passion started. So to me, I'm just so grateful that I work with professionals like you guys, to be able to assist your clients. So also whoever has challenges on their credit, also if they need to, establish credit, or even gain the education needed to maintain that credit, we do that. One of the biggest mistakes, okay, that us consumers and we, also our clients and us, we don't check our credit often. We got to treat our credit like we treat our bank account, right? I know that I at least look at my bank account once a day. Everyone have been cloned on their credit, right? I mean, on their bank account, right? You had that debit card that was used, it wasn't you. So we tend to check our credit. I mean, to check our bank account. We should do the same thing with credit, right? To see if there's any mistakes, any errors. In fact, if I had 10 people in this room, 8 of them will have errors on it. So, or not, or even have mistakes. For example, accounts are not yours, information that is not yours. So that's one of the things I always encourage our clients to do, and not to wait to the last minute to when they're going to buy a home and they go, "Oh my God, what happened?" And also understanding that credit. I look at, like, for example, FICO is divided like in pizza, right? So there's 2 slices of pizza. Oh, by the way, I want to also introduce Richard. Richard is our sales director. I'm going to give him a few minutes too. I'm Puerto Rican, so I like to talk, and I know he has some pointers that he wants to talk about. But there's 2 things in that side pizza that's very important. 30% is creditization, and 35% is payment history. Okay, and that's one thing that we start. We have to know how to manage that credit, and in regards to understanding and keeping your credit cards low. That affects your FICO score. Not believing all those myths that a lot of these credit card companies want you to think, right? They want to get you in debt. Also maintaining good history, right? One of the things is that when we have clients that want to buy homes, is that don't get your credit pulled. Have those inquiries, all right? This is not the moment, and I'm sure Isaac agrees with me. And also having understanding what a good revolving credit is, right? So whenever you want to establish credit, normally what some lenders want to see is between 3 and 5 lines of credit, positive line of credit. One of the things that we pride ourselves at Urgent Credit Solutions, that we can give solutions for credit and also establishing credit. Richard, I know you have some pointers you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, just it's pretty much just setting expectation for the client, just making sure that they're prepared, they know the process, they know it's not going to be something overnight. Well, we can have solutions with it as little as 10 days by adding a trade line. We've seen the score jump 130 points in 10 days just by adding a positive line of credit. But, we want to set their expectation that, that it does take a little time. And we don't want you to have one of those, what they say, oh shit moments where, okay, I need to get a place now and my credit's messed up. Or, today, just yesterday, and another thing is pretty much you got to be educating, got to be on top of them every single day while we're fixing their credit. I'm sure, Isaac, I had this client yesterday, literally, I'm working on their credit that just started like a week ago. And she's like, I just bought a car in April, but I'm trying to buy a house in December. Is it a good time to buy a new car? I'm like, no, do not buy a car. You're not doing any inquiries, because what happens is you're going to go to the dealership, they're going to run your credit, then they're going to send it to 20 other banks, then they're all going to run your credit. No, wait till you buy your house first. That's going to be some positive history on your credit. Then buy your car. You're going to have good interest rate, better interest rate. So it's a matter of like giving them like real solutions and telling them the truth. You got to tell them the ugly. You got to tell them the pretty, you got to tell them everything. So just set an expectation and just making sure, we follow up, and communication is the key. That's why we give them access to our portal. So that way, you can see the real-time improvements and see how the client's score is going up. So it's about setting expectations. That's pretty much one of the main things I wanted to say. And communication is, keeping the client in the loop all the time. Definitely.
Absolutely. And one of the things is, one of the biggest questions that they ask is, can you remove anything on someone's credit? Yes, we can. Under Fair Credit Reporting Act, you have the right to challenge anything on your credit, as long as you use the right formula and also the right laws. After COVID, we saw that a lot of people got affected. You had, do I pay a bill, right? And you have repossessions, you have collections, even foreclosures, right? A lot of things happen, and a lot of people feel like they're lost. Okay, what do I do, right? Yeah, you can sit back and relax and wait 7 to 10 years for it to fall off. But you're under the Fair Credit Reporting Act allows you to get those negative items removed if you know what you're doing, right? Same thing with even inquiries. One of the questions that they ask us is, can you remove inquiries? You can't remove anything off someone's credit. But one of the things that I always tell our clients, and Richard does too, is that whenever you remove anything off your credit, you want to replace it with good credit, right? So Richard, tell me what we have now in our one of our programs. How does that work?
So we actually have our own website. We actually go online. You can purchase a trade line, piggybacking off of somebody's credit. It's completely 100% legal, and we work directly with the banks, Wells Fargo, American Express. We can add positive line of credit. Like I said earlier, could show up on your credit as little as 10 days. We have, trade lines from, I think it was 1995, you can add on all the way back then. So if you really want some good history, we can add it on. Or you might just have a student that just got out of college that, He's 22 years old. He's only had credit for 2-3 years. Just add a trade on this 2-3 years old. It makes sense, because he just started using his credit around 18. So we want to make sure it makes sense, and we can provide those real solutions that are going to take effect right away. And it's just about educating the client on the whole process, how the trade lines work, and just keep them educated. That way they don't run into any more issues in the future with their credit.
Absolutely. So also, one of the first things that we do for a client when they come in, and I actually encourage you guys also to do it. In fact, if one of you professionals ever wanted to get it done, actually today, because you're here, I'm going to give you guys one free credit audit, okay, to everyone here. So we identify what are the needs, where your shortcomings are, what's affecting your FICO score. So one of the first steps that we do with our clients is to identify what's the fastest course of action to get into the credit you need, right? Identify the things that we have to resolve, right? Or things that they're doing great. So that's what's important with our clients. So whenever they're in a position to buy a home, they already have the credit needed to be able to get the funding. One of the things I always tell our clients is, don't get discouraged. Sometimes people believe these credit repair companies, there's 24 hours and 40 hours, 72 hours, things get off. It doesn't work that way. It's a time. You have to be patient. You have to be coachable to get you in the position that you need to get. And it doesn't matter if it's your fault or not your fault. It doesn't matter the errors. Anything can get fixed on someone's credit. Richard, would you have anything to add?
Yeah, I was just going to say, and I know we're talking about, transitioning from, rental to buying a home. Obviously, there's so many people out there renting right now. There's such a huge market for that. So I think, me and Jennifer were talking about that a lot. But, these people that this lease is going to end soon, so we need to take action right away. And a lot of these buildings, if you don't leave when the lease expires, they're going to increase they're going to do like a month-to-month lease, which they'll jack it up $500-600 a month. So just setting the expectation for the client, say, hey, we need to get your credit going now. Your lease is up in 3 months. We need to make sure we position you now. That way you don't have that moment where, okay, now it's really going to cost you, and, we have a lot of clients too, that maybe they already have like a 680 score, and they're like, you know what, I just want to save that extra point in interest rate. I want to save that $400 or $500 a month in interest. Let me get my score up to a 750. So let me get up to it. I had a client yesterday who was at a 720. She's like, I want to get to an 850. Perfect. Let's do it. So it's all about positioning the client and finding what their goals are and what they want to accomplish.
Absolutely. So for more information, if you guys want to give us a call, I'm going to give you my number. The office number is 786-862-3987. And my extension 2. What's your extension, Richard?
My extension 704, and I could also give you my cell phone just in case, because I don't want to miss anybody's call. It's 305-525-9091. 305-525-9091. I actually type it in the chat too. That way, anything, we don't want to miss your call. That's one thing with us. Communication is key. Especially when working with the realtor and the mortgage broker, we like to keep everybody in the loop. So we want to make sure everybody has, transparency and sees what's going along the whole way.
Absolutely. Or also our social media is Mr. Credit 305. Mr. Credit 305. YouTube is also Mr. Credit 305. And every Thursday I have a podcast that comes out, Soñando con Mr. Credit 305. For the Americans here, dreaming with Mr. Credit 305. And also one thing that I want to highlight as partners, is important for us to know that you're part of the journey of the client. So every partner always has a portal, okay? So they can go ahead and follow the journey of the client. It's completely free. I would love to connect with me or Richard so we can set you guys up. There's a lot of goodies also inside that portal that you guys will have a Colgate smile. We want to make sure that the client knows that you're part of that journey, okay? That's your client. We understand that everything that we do is a reflection of you. So we want to make sure that we work as a team. We have the same common goal, right? To make a difference in our community. In fact, that's what I always, I mention a lot when I'm on stage, and I tell the realtors and the brokers, you guys create communities. You guys are unsung heroes. You guys, when you give those keys to your client, you've made a difference. It's not an American dream. It's a human dream. Everyone wants to buy one, and you make that possible. And I know it's a lot of work, but I guarantee you, every time you put that smile, they'll never forget you. So don't give up on those clients that may have some credit challenges. I've heard realtors go, oh, he doesn't have credit. good credit. Just go and figure it out and come back. Well, guess what? They're going to figure it out. They're going to come to see me. And then when we fix some credit, you might not have a client because you gave up on that client. Then they're going to be calling me and telling me, hey, who do you know? Well, I know Jennifer. I know Frank. I know Angelica. I know Oscar. Right? So any client, when you buy a home, obviously is a big deal in regards to you earn that relationship. But people that have good credit already, they know they can, right? I with all due respect, I know it's still a challenge, right? To gain that trust. But if you help somebody with credit challenges and don't give up, and they get the credit they need, and then they buy a home from you, they're going to refer you to everybody. And in fact, some of those clients might have good credit too, right? So so those are the things that I want to just say that, we're here to also change many lives. Give us a call, give me or your Richard a call, and I'll love to share that portal with every single one of you guys.
And then I'll mention one thing too. The portal's amazing because you can see all your clients listed there. I have realtors and mortgage brokers that send me sometimes a dozen in 1 month, and then we're starting to fix their credit. These are people that never had a chance before. I mean, most realtors put them on the side, a lot of mortgage brokers put them on the side. I have mortgage brokers and realtors closing 2 to 3 deals a month just from people from bad credit. They put them in the portal. We get them situated. We get their credit position for home ownership. And then 2-3 months, whatever it takes, we send it back to you guys. You have a client to close, So, I mean, all these people that need help, you could send them to us. We'll get them going, and they're going to be a limited referral source for you guys because somebody with bad credit that you got them approved, you're like the miracle worker right there that made it happen. So I'm sure a lot of my I'm sure Isaac knows that because trying to get somebody in a home is a lot of work. So definitely, brother. I know we're here to support you guys, whatever you need.
Thank you, guys. So let me ask you something.
Jennifer.
So you say more or less, 3 months more or less is where you can get somebody on a good track? Or what would be a healthy timeline?
Well, that's important about having that audit because every case is different, right? There's some things that we can resolve much quicker in 3 months. And also depending what the challenges on the credit, right? So you can't, if you have let's say a medical collection compared to American Express collection, there's different laws. It might take a little longer. Our intent is always to make sure that we get that result as quick as possible, right? But yeah, it depends because it's not only removing, we have to add pawns involving credit, but it can be at least, within 3 months or even sooner. Yeah.
Wonderful. Does anybody have any questions?
Like I said, like we have those situations where like somebody's like, okay, I just need to get 10 points, and then we'll do a trade line. And like I said, like we can, depending on when the statement closes, we can add that onto the person's credit. And literally within 10 days, you could see, I mean, like I said, we could see up to a 130-point jump. We saw that with a client, our realtor, she actually made a huge video and she put it on Instagram, like saying, thank you guys, you saved my deal. Like, so we saved her from, the closing. She closed. So that was a big deal. And we just made her a big check.
That's awesome. See, this is the reason I say it's so important to align yourself with professionals because clients are always asking us, like, what do I do? Or like you said, we could be dismissive when somebody, okay, you don't even have your pre-approval because you cannot get approved because your credit sucks and everything else in between. So we become dismissive of those people. But maybe that's the people nobody wants, and that's the pot of gold that we should be holding on to. Nourishing those clients where you can, like you said, they turn into referrals.
And like another thing is like setting good goals for the clients, as realtors and mortgage brokers, we got to set, goals. Hey, when do you want to buy this house? Really? Okay, let's get your finances in order. Let's get this in order. So like you guys, I'm sure as professionals, that's what you guys do every day, but it's just a matter of just getting, because a lot of these people that have bad credit, they don't know anything about credit. They're not good at maybe planning goals for finances, and they don't have an education in it. So we need to educate them and then get them on the path to be on track so that when they can buy that house, they're ready.
Absolutely. Somebody asked about bankruptcies. Yes, you can remove bankruptcies. If you read the law, now we're not attorneys. I'm not an attorney. I'm a credit expert. But if you read the law, it says up to. And that's the key, is up to. Okay. So by law, you can remove a bankruptcy off someone's credit after it gets discharged. Okay, it just has to be discharged. In fact, that's almost borderline. If you look at the policies that these credit bureaus use, when they put a bankruptcy in someone's credit, it's actually a violation of their own policy. So you have to understand those laws, and that's what we do. So yes, it can be, and it's permanent also. Now, there's always going to be public records. Someone walks into a courthouse and shows a government ID. They can't get copies of your bankruptcy papers, but at least it's off your credit, and nobody's gonna go to the courthouse and pull bankruptcy paperwork, right? But yes, anything on your credit that's negative, it can be removed, including bankruptcy. I'm also gonna put my cell phone number if you guys have any questions. I know I gave you my office. I'm gonna put it right here in the chat. It's 407-516-3401 in case you can't get a hold of Richard. But yeah, any other questions, anything you guys, we can help you with. It's a free consultation, guys. You guys are family to me. So give us a call, answer a lot of your questions. If you have a client and you have it in front of you, and you want to give us a call at the office with the client, go ahead and do that.
And does anybody else have any questions right now that they would like to ask since we're all here?
All right.
Okay,
Well, Jennifer,
so
back to you.
yeah, thank you guys. I love this. I love it because I think
but I have
that
a question.
okay. Thank you, Cesar.
Yeah. Hey, guys, thank you. Great presentation. You answered this, but my question is sometimes, and it happens to me a few months ago. Okay, I had a couple, and these people they were looking for a property, but you know, their credit wasn't that good. Okay, and also the tax, sorry, en español, sus declaraciones de impuestos, okay? So this situation, at the end of the day, we couldn't find a real program for them, so and I think that I have a great team of people supporting me, starting with Jennifer, good lawyers, good everything, but I don't have a credit repair guy. So let's say that I am in this situation again. ¿Cuál tiene que ser mi primera llamada? My first call. Who I'm going to call?
Well, I mean, you can give us a call at the office and speak with any of my professionals. Now, Richard is the sales director. You can even call me directly. You can talk to any one of us. We're here to help you out. In fact, in that portal, you can actually send us that information through the portal, the partnership portal. And if you have any documentation that you want us to see to get at least an idea on what's going on with the credit, also in the portal, you can upload it. But in regards to giving a call, all of us are here to help.
Okay, and oh, sorry, I was listening to you and forgot my question. If I remember, I'm gonna go back. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Cesar. Anybody wants to have any questions? Anybody has any questions? Feel free to say them in English and Spanish, whichever you feel most comfortable in. It's okay. We're all bilingual here. For the most part, we are. But thank you. Appreciate that.
Because
Does anybody have any clients right now, like with specific situations that they can think of they're having issues with, like a specific client that maybe, I know you talked about the last client you had. Anybody have a current situation?
well, this client they didn't did the purchase, and they're looking to buy. They get into a month by month deal or whatever, but the one is an employee of the city, the other one is self-employed, but he's doing very good. And yes, they wanna purchase. They pay the rent for 20 years, and right now they wanna pay. They wanna buy.
Yeah, maybe it's something so simple as they just need a little history. Maybe they haven't had that much credit, Maybe something
Okay.
simple like that. We could take a look at it for sure.
I'm gonna put him in contact with you guys.
100%. Anybody else?
Bueno,
Well,
let's
I'm sure you
transition
guys can
on
have more
to.
questions later. Give us a call.
Yes, no, we're all going to be here on the live still for a little bit longer. So, empezamos contigo, Isaac. Thank you for being here.
No, thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure listening to Richard and Jose. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of credit reports I look at a day and be so happy to hear that there's people out there that care for clients the way that they do and the effort that they do, because like Jose was saying, some people go through things in life. You don't know their story. You don't know what happened to them, whether they got divorced, whether they lost their job and they're stuck with kids and they have to use credit cards. And we can't judge people based on their credit. So I think it's, you find the humanity within the person and not just a number. And I think that once you build that trust with that client becomes family. And the day of tomorrow, a realtor or someone that tries to say, hey, listen, I have a better deal for you, or they always know that, no, this person truly cares for me, because when nobody took the chance on me to deal with me and to go over my credit and to build that time, that client is forever in debt with your services. So I'm super glad to hear from Richard and Jose. I mean, the passion, because you talk about an experience that Jose went through that made him understand, hey, listen, I put myself in the shoes of the client. And that to me is just, it gives me so much gratitude and to know that there's people out here with businesses that are glad to help people. But I think that one of the most important things that they said was set goals and set expectations that are realistic. So for example, people say they come to us, we run their credit, and they say, oh, well, you don't have any credit, we can't do nothing with you. It's like, no, that's not the end of the world. See, we've seen people and we've had people that have came to us with those bad credits, and they've told us, hey, listen, what do I do? And then we point them in the right directions. Unfortunately, we're mortgage professionals, we're not credit professionals, so we can't go in depth as Richard and Jose. But with our knowledge, we point them in the right direction. And now having them, I mean, this is going to be a great team, because if they can guide them, we've had clients that came back 6 months later, years later, and it's a completely different file. Now we look at it and it's like, wow, this is night and day from when we came. And when we pull the credit and we see a lot of the things that were removed and a lot of the things and we're like, this is not the end of the world. So if someone has bad credit, don't dismiss them. Don't say, well, they're not a good client, they're not a good lead. A lot of our leads are people that have been sitting in our database, that have been trying and wanting to become homeowners. And they know that, hey, I want to set this expectation for my family to buy a home and to establish myself. And they're dedicated people. We can't just dismiss those people. We have to work with those people as professionals, because our business depends on our referrals. And once you understand that that one person that you dismiss cuts you off from 5 referrals that one person was going to give you, now you say, and you're like, wow, I need to change the way I do my business. So with us in Highlands Residential Mortgage, just to give you a little experience and a little background with us, we're here at Highlands Residential Mortgage in Miramar, Florida. We have 2 experienced loan officers. I'm the team loan officer of the team, and we're loan officers that care for the client. We're not out to make a quick buck. We're not out to give somebody that they don't know. We had a meeting the other day, and I love the way Juliana and Vince put it. Vince Rodriguez is the loan officer of the team, and he said, we're advisors. We don't direct people to do anything. We're advisors, and we want to put them in the best position that we can. So us as professionals, we have to know that we're guiding our clients to be these professionals and to have their home. Because the way we put it is, you could either rent for another 10 years and pay 100% interest, or you can get locked in your home and build towards your future, so we can go ahead and put you in a home. And if I could share a presentation, I don't know if it's okay, Jennifer, I did a presentation for us, so we could go ahead and take a look.
Yes, please go ahead. Yes,
Awesome.
you have the share button for yourself.
Perfect. I'm a very visual person, so I would like to have everybody be a visual person. Can everybody see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. We're going to go over the mortgages 101. And a lot of people, we know of mortgages, but we don't know the details. And that's why you have people like us. You have people like Jennifer that is going to guide you along the way, because it's a different world, and it's a world that changes almost every year, because things changes, rate changes, laws changes, and guidelines changes. So we want to be able to be as thorough and as upfront as we can with the client, because it's such a vast business. We want the clearest things that the client can understand. So we're going to go ahead and start off. I'm going to cover the programs. I don't want to get so much deep into the process and get lost in the process of a loan, because I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that I can cover, but I want to get through the basics. And I think it's so important. I believe Richard said this. Richard said, yeah, we can get you pre-approved. The minimum credit score for FHA loan is 580. We can get you approved. That's not an issue, but your rate is not going to be there. And you might be paying a lot more in your monthly payment because of your credit score. So I think it's so important that you deal with Jose, you deal with Richard, because your credit is everything. When you go ahead and you go to get priced out in your rate, no matter whether the market is the market, but you want to give yourself the best chance to set yourself up for your home. And for FHA, it's a minimum of 3.5% down, a minimum of 580 credit. We know now that we have to boost our credit, that yeah, the minimum is 580, but our rate is probably not going to be there as we want it to be. So we need to boost this up. 100% of the funds can come from a gift. We need bank statements from the donor. So all we would need from if you decided, hey, listen, I have my mother or my aunt and they want to give me a gift, all your funds for this loan can come from that gift. We just need to provide the bank statements to source that. Also, mortgage insurance is required for an FHA loan for the life of the loan. Unless you put 10% down, the mortgage insurance goes away for after 11 years. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people think that if I only put 3.5, yeah, if you have put 3.5 down, you have mortgage insurance for the life of the loan. But if I put 10% down, the mortgage insurance goes away after 11 years. It has nothing to do with LTV, but it has to do with the years of the loan. Of course, we know that there's condo approvals. Very rare that we can do a condo approval. We would need the condo docs, and we would need that everything is in line with the condo in order to request a condo FHA spot approval, but it can be done. So I just want to go over these little things because I think it's so important along the way to know the basics of a mortgage, to know the programs. If I don't know that there's a program, I believe Cesar said it. He said, I had a client, his credit was not so good, and then his taxes weren't as so good. And there's programs for that. But if we don't know that, we miss out on opportunities because of lack of knowledge. So a lot of the things that we don't know is the things that hurt us. With student loans, guidelines for FHA, if they're zero, we have to calculate a 0.5% of the student loans against your DTI. So if I have $20,000 in student loans and I had to calculate the monthly payment against my DTI, that would be coming around $100 a month. So we have to count that against you. So this FHA loan is most famous against first-time home buyers that have struggled with their credit, that need that little extra room within the guidelines to help them with their credit. So this is offered for that. And you see this with a lot of single family homes. They like to encourage this program to get people into homes. And I want to go to the next program, which is a conventional loan. A conventional loan is for the client that does have a little bit more credit, that has that extra room to put a bigger down payment, and that has that credit history that when we go to shop for the mortgage insurance can be low instead of high. So a minimum down payment of a conventional loan is 3%. Now, this is for the borrower that is excellent credit score. I mean, we go ahead and we run it and we can get you into a 3% conventional loan, which is, I mean, it can be done. And I know after listening to Richard and Jose, I mean, having them on your team, that's a possibility. The minimum credit score for a conventional loan is 620. So our system, sometimes when we have a client that has that 610, that has that 600, you get together with someone like Richard and Jose, and they push you over that 620. I mean, it makes all the difference in the world, because the benefits of a conventional loan is the fourth point right here. The monthly mortgage insurance can be removed or paid at closing. So that means that when your loan hits an 80% loan to value, that means that if your house is 400,000 and you get to 80% of that 400,000, that mortgage insurance drops off automatically. So now that's a less monthly payment for you to go ahead and to take off that you can use to another area in your life that you want to use. So a conventional loan has that opportunity for you to get rid of that mortgage insurance. When on an FHA loan, it's on the life of the loan, unfortunately. So we've been going through a lot recently with the condos because of the reserves and the insurances. But on a conventional loans, we deal a lot with condos because there's options that you can even put 10% down on a condo if the reserves are a little bit better than others. There's some condos that don't have reserves, and then we have to come in with 20-25% down. But if you do end up finding that condo, we can go as low as 10% and even 5% if everything is good. Also, on conventional loans, there's two options for student loans. We can go ahead and we can calculate the 1% for Fannie Mae, or we can calculate the 0.5% for student loans. So don't ever think to yourself, man, I have debt in student loans, I'm not going to be able to buy, I have to. No. Don't get that can't out of your head and focus on that. You can do it, and we can make it happen. Also, I wanted to go over VA. A VA loan is I think super important, because if you are a spouse or you're a veteran, this program is so awesome that you come in with 0% down, the low percent interest rate. There's no mortgage insurance. So no matter if your credit is bad, no matter if your credit is good, you have no mortgage insurance. The minimum credit is a 580, but again, your credit has to do with the rate. And if your credit is not where it's supposed to be, even being a VA, we have to work on that. And this is the only program where you can get cash back at signing. A lot of people don't know that. We have had a lot of VAs come into the office and having, there's so many down payment assistance programs. That's another world, because if you have good credit, you can even qualify for down payment assistance programs that they offer to the regular buyer in Florida. The minimum down payment for the Florida bond that gives you a $10,000 assistance, down payment assistance, you have to have a minimum of 640. If you have a minimum of 640, you don't even have to come up. If you're a VA and your down payment and your closing costs all come out to $10,000 and you have that program, you don't have to put a dime. And there's some instances where you get money back. And when you tell a client, hey, listen, you're getting money back for buying your home, that person becomes a successful transaction. We here in the office, we define a successful transaction as someone who refers you business before you close. And we've had people that are just so wild with the services and have dealt with the Jose, have dealt with the Richard, and have built that trust over the years, that when they come to you, they're like, hey man, I've told my brother what you did for me. I told my neighbor what you did for me. I told my coworkers what you did for me. And you build your business based on good service, good quality service, caring for the client. Also, I want to go over, this is the last one I want to go over. There's bank statements and 1099 loans. So for that person, Cesar, that did not have their taxes right, but was a self-employed employee, and the last 12 months, they've been receiving deposit into their bank accounts for the last 12 months, and it's been consistent, and it's been okay. And we deal with Richard, we deal with Cesar, to deal with Richard and Jose, and we bring up your credit. You can apply for a bank statement loan. You have a 1099 loan. We need 12 months bank statements. And all we need to do is to just calculate their income with the last 12 months, and they can buy their home. They can buy a primary, they can buy a second, they can buy an investment with credit as the low of 620. But then again, there comes the credit aspect. As low as 620, but that doesn't mean with bank statement loans, the down payment is determined by your credit score. So if I have a 620, I have to give the maximum down payment for my loan. If I had a 740, we have programs that you can come in with 10%. So credit has a lot to do with it. So we're building our business based on, hey, listen, I trust you as my professional, and you're going to give me the best advice to get me to my home. So cash out refis come up to 85%. You have somebody that wants to refinance and take the equity out of their home. We can do a bank statement loan with just their bank statements and cash out to 85% of their home equity. and we can do with recent foreclosures, bankruptcy, short sale, everything's okay. It's not the end of the world. Get with someone like Richard, get with someone like Jose. Let's work on your credit. Let's send our clients to build something for these clients in the future to get them into their home. Because like I said in the beginning, it's either they pay 100% interest when they rent, or they pay their interest rate that is now, and they have something that's going to gain equity for them that they can use in the future, that the day of tomorrow they pay off their house, they can set up their kids, they can set up their grandkids. But it all starts with the decisions that we as professionals offer them. And if we can't provide that for them, they'll never know, and they'll be 30 years renting and don't have people like us to guide them in the right direction. So that's all the basics. I mean, I wanted to cover a little bit. I mean, us as mortgage professionals, we deal with a lot of information and we want to go ahead and cover everything. But those are the basics, and we just want the best for our clients. We talk to clients on a day in and day out, and you start to know and you start to learn their habits, and they become family. So I believe that if we all put in together this knowledge that we have from Richard and Jose, my knowledge and Jennifer's knowledge, and we put this all together, we can establish and we can cover Miami-Dade and Broward County to think that buying a home is not impossible, that it's something possible, because I have my mortgage professionals and I have my credit professionals. So again, my name is, you can reach me at my cell phone number, my office number, my email's there, my Instagram is there. I'm here for whatever questions you might need. Any client that you have that wasn't able to get pre-approved, we can go ahead and take a look at it. We're going to go ahead and give you the honest answer. We're not going to go ahead and give you anything. We're not going to give you the runaround, because we understand that in the market we are in right now, the mortgage professionals are separating themselves from just loan officers. We don't want to be loan officers. We want to be mortgage professionals that advise every client that this is the best opportunity and the best situation for you. I thank you guys for your time. I thank you for everything that you guys have given us. And Richard and Jose, I'm gonna definitely put myself in contact with you guys. I wrote down my notes so I can go ahead and I'm the student of the business. And no matter how many years, no matter how many instances or credit pools, you learn something every day. And I think I put myself in the best opportunity to grow. And that's what I want to do with you mortgage and with you professionals. Thank you guys.
Amazing, brother. Definitely. I got your information. We'll definitely connect 100%.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys. How do you guys feel about this class? I see that Christina had a question about the cost of the, I guess, credit repair. And I see that Jose also answered it. So do you guys have any questions right now?
I think I missed it. For Jose and Richard, are we permitted to refer them, or we need to refer to a different company? Did I miss that part? To use their services?
No, so that's why we are introducing them as our vendors, because when our clients are always asking who should we refer, or who can we anybody's contact, we could definitely refer Mr. Credit 305, Jose, Richard, Isaac. We're here to give them options. At the end of the day, the client chooses who they want, but we're here to give options. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And my phone number is in the message if you need it. I can give it to you right now. It's 305-525-9091. But you'll see in the chat, you can reach out to me anytime. And we also offer discounts for first responders and for you guys as well. So it's another little incentive.
Wonderful. And then I did hear that Jose, you wanna repeat that little promo you just gave us for the club? I don't wanna overpromise if that's not if I didn't hear right. Is he there?
I don't know what happened to him. I think he just maybe went off.
Se le cayó la llamada.
Oh, must have fallen
Well,
off.
he mentioned something of a promo for our club, but I don't want to, I don't want to say anything that wasn't correct.
Yeah, he said he was going to do like an audit. So he would do a complimentary audit on everybody's credit here. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I heard that correctly. And the audit, from what I see here, he wrote down it's worth $305, $305. So, hey guys,
club, it's getting a $305 discount, 305.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah, so each one of
Yes,
you,
that is
you can reach out to me, send me a text message, with your information, your business card, and then let me know and I'll schedule that for you.
Thank you, guys. I see Christina and Angeles have questions.
Yes.
Do you guys want to open your mics and everybody interacts?
Yeah, perfect.
Sure,
I
thank
see-
you. I wasn't sure that we were supposed to just, the questions on the
Yes,
chat.
please interrupt. Let's just interact here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was wondering if you guys offer USDA.
Yes, we do offer USDA.
Okay, and as far as USDA for a mobile home, not a manufacturer home, but a mobile home, do you know if they have that limit, 90-something, 90,000?
I know with mobile homes, when it comes to mobile homes, the mobile home has to be on land that is purchased. It cannot be leased.
Attached.
Yeah, it has to be attached, and not only attached, the land itself needs to be purchased. Like it can't be a community that's leasing the land on the mobile home. We can do it with
Correct.
the land that's purchased with the mobile home, everything included.
Okay, so if they found a land and they
Yes.
want, and they can even pay cash for the land, which is not the idea, because in that way then the loan will be only for the mobile home, and a mortgage cannot finance a mobile.
Correct.
So the thing is, like, if they buy the land and they purchase a new mobile home, they have it to have connected with service, with foundation, with everything in order for use already prior to applying to the loan, or can
Yes,
they do that in the process?
everything needs to be set on the land
Set.
with the land bought.
Okay.
Yes. And if you want, we can go a little bit more further into detail. You can put
Thank
yourself
you. Yeah,
in contact with me, because I know we were
Specific.
talking about this at the office. Also the other day, one of our loan officers had a question whether this, and I know that the laws have been
Mhm.
changing a little bit when it comes to mobile homes and the USDA. So let me go ahead, put
Mhm.
yourself in contact with me so we can review. And I think that's a
Awesome.
great question.
And also the credit, do they have a credit requirement 620, or is just down to 580 like FHA? That would be amazing to know.
USDA does have a credit limit, and it also has an income limit. So
Yeah, the income limit. Yep.
yeah, it has an income limit and a credit limit. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the guidelines to make sure that I don't want to give you something that
Correct. It depends on the county, I believe, the income, and
yes, it depends on the county on the income. It's
Yep.
a 115 medium
For sure.
household limit.
Yeah, and then it's something that to know, I think, about that loan is that every single person that lives in the home, their income will be counted in
Yes.
to know
Yes.
the total income. So, if you have a daughter that has a part-time job and she's 18 and, you qualify, but then you need to know that they're also going to take in consideration their income. So it has
Exactly. It
a
has
few
to do with
details. Yeah.
household income, just like the down payment assistance program that I mentioned, the Florida
Yeah.
bond where they give you 10,000. There
Mhm.
they use household income. So if you have somebody like Angela
Mhm.
said that is 18, has a part-time job, you have to qualify with them with
Report
that
it.
income included. The other
Correct.
program, the Hometown Heroes that just came out and that the funds expired, you did not have to use household income. So that's why that
Again.
one, the funds expired so quickly, because everyone took advantage of that one.
Awesome. All right. And my last question, sorry, I don't want to take too long.
Okay.
About foreign national, how do you do second homes or just investment? And if you can give us just a little bit of that, do you do those loans?
We do foreign nationals here. We do have providers that we do work with. We work with BAC, we work with Banesco, we work with Acra. We worked with a lot of foreign nationals that can be
Mhm.
second homes. They don't have to be investment properties. And I believe we're doing one at the moment where somebody's coming in with 25%, and the rates, I mean, for Banesco and for BAC, they're very competitive. So yeah, we do offer foreign nationals as well.
So the rates are around what, 8% or 9 or 7?
Let me go ahead.
That would be amazing to know, because usually people think it would be the rates in the FHAs, depending, they're like 7%. So maybe
Yeah.
these 1 or 2 more points. Is that how?
Right. I'm gonna go ahead and
Right.
look up the rates for each, because each of them have a rate sheet that changes every month. Let me get the rate sheets together, and I can go ahead and share it with Jennifer, and we can share it with you so everybody can
That
have
would be
it.
amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
'Cause I
No, of
definitely
course,
have
anything
some
that I can do to
scenarios.
help you guys.
Thank you so much.
Of
I
course. Thank
appreciate
you
all
for
of your
your time.
help and your knowledge. It was great. The
No, thank
meeting
you.
was
Thank you.
great.
Thank you
Mhm.
so
Thank
much.
you, Angela.
You're
So
welcome.
Christina's asking, what is the best interest rate right now available for someone that has great credit?
For great credit. That is the magical question we get every day. Christina, that is such a great question. But it all varies. If I were to tell you something, I would be lying to you, but I have seen low sevens, high sixes with someone that has great credit. But it's a situational thing. I mean, it depends on credit, it depends on DTI, it depends on reserves, how much money you have. So putting yourself in the best ability, we can go ahead and give you the best opportunity. So I mean, if you did have that client, that perfect situation, put yourself in contact with a mortgage professional like us that we can be transparent with you. But what we have seen has been low sevens, high sixes for great credit.
Correct. And I wanted to add something to that. You also need to know that this is based on a 30-year, right? Because, you do
Correct.
get arms and you
Correct.
get buy downs. And if a
Correct.
person is willing and open, you need to know their plan.
Yep.
Like, are they going to stay in this house? How long? Is
Correct.
this something that they're, if they're looking in a long term, yes, like you said, you're right on the spot. But if they
Yep.
are willing to do a 5-year arm, and either they have planned to sell the home, they're
Yep.
planning to move in 3 years. So then you can offer, 5% or something better. It depends the rates,
Exactly.
like he said. Mhm.
Exactly. And I think that that's a great point, because a lot of people come in and say, hey, listen, I want an investment property. Well, your rate's not going to be as good as somebody that's coming in as a primary home, first off, because when you come in as investment, they charge you a little bit more in interest. So it's best to know your situation and what you're trying to get the best out of when you're purchasing a home. And that's when you would come in, explain your story. We call it love notes, and we call it the story of the loan. And we go ahead and we put that together, and we'll be able to give you offer every type of thing that would be beneficial to you, whether it be an arm, or whether it be a fix, or whether it be a 15 fix, whether it be a 20, 25. That all depends on you, and there's no one set rate. It's based on your situation. Any more questions? I like this.
You like this?
I love this. I love this interaction. This is awesome. Thank you. Hopefully the rates start to come down in 24. Yes. Hey, I there's nothing greater than that. But the main thing that we like to tell our clients is, with us, with Highlands, if you do have a rate that you know that just to get you into the home before the price of the house starts rising, with Highlands, you can refinance with us with no or origination fees, no fees that we charge to someone who does their loan with us for the first 3 years. You're able to refinance with us with no fees charged. So that's a great opportunity to offer to your clients, because you may not like the rate now, but you want to go ahead and secure yourself and get into that home. And in 2 years, the rates come down, you can go ahead and refinance with us with no fees charged extra, just taxes and on closing costs that we don't, but we just go ahead and like to put that opportunity out there for everyone.
Isaac, so I was listening to the Mortgage Minute with Vinny on Monday.
Okay.
And he mentioned something that there were some rumors, perhaps, that there still might be one more increase. So far, I mean, it's been 2 days, and the market is always up and down with different rumors happening. So
Yes.
más chismoso que no sé qué. So at this point, it's like, tell me, what is the latest update now, 2 days later?
Okay, so we had a meeting yesterday with Vinny, and we talked about the rates. And what we've gotten from our mortgage professionals and our inside is it's going to get bad before it gets worse. So it's a little bit, it might go up a little bit, but there is the market that always comes back down. And we put it like this yesterday. We were like, do we honestly believe there's 1.9 million people in Broward? Right? If the rates never come down, that means that these people never are able to get a home. And that's not rational. That's not logical to think. So yeah, you might see it go up a little bit. It's maybe rumored to go up a little bit, but we are expecting it to get better. So, I mean, but it happens with keeping your clients close, and we're in a market that you have to tend to them, and to not get scared, not panic, but to know that good times are ahead.
That's wonderful. Okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate both your time and Richard and Jose. Everyone's participated on today's training. I think this was very fundamental, essential, because I've discussed with a couple of our agents that we cannot give up on our tenants. The minute you put them in there, it's like, all right, you're renting, and look how high it is, and you have no control of what your next increase on your rent will be, because there's really nothing, stopping that landlord from increasing your rent for another $300, $400, $500 more, right? So it's the time that you put them in, so you can get them on the right track. Start doing your follow up. Use that CRM so that you like, hey, how's it going? Did you talk to Mr. Credit 305 already, or whoever they choose, right? At the end of the day, they have free will to choose whoever they want to, but they want to, for them to see that we have total interest on their future plans. So as long as we do that, I think that you're going to be that much more important to your client as they are to you. So just want to give you guys a little heads up of what October brings, because today is our last Wednesday, our last training for September. So next Wednesday will be Wednesday the 4th, and we're going to start a 90-day challenge, guys. And the 90-day challenge is because we believe that you're most successful working in 90-day cycles, because usually your pipeline is about 90 days. So we're going to start working in short terms of 90 days. So start getting ready for that. We're going to bring in some really cool, interesting classes that is going to motivate you to start your 2024 the right way and start closing the minute the year starts. So if we all put our hands together and start really working together and bringing that enthusiasm with each other, I think we can definitely become top producers at this point. At some point next year, a lot of us can turn into that massive production companies that we want to be, right? And then I don't know if you guys know, but Isaac, Richard, and Jose, this is the club. The club is represented so far by 10 different brokers. And I know that the audience is not all there right now, but this is all being recorded. So this is going to be shared with the rest of our offices, and they're going to be able to see you guys. So everyone is going to have access to this audio or this video, and we can always go back and learn from it. So thank you so much for participating today.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having us. Anything you might need, just reach out to me. Available whenever you guys need.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Anybody else has some final questions before we say goodbye? No? All right. Bueno, todo el mundo dice gracias. Thank you, guys. Ciao. Bye.